The CIA ran a mind control program for 20 years. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented fact. They drugged American citizens without consent, tortured psychiatric patients, funded experiments on prisoners, tested chemical weapons on unsuspecting people, and they did it with unlimited budgets and zero oversight. The program was called MKUltra, and it cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's what they don't tell you. MKUltra wasn't just about mind control. It was about market control, about understanding how to manipulate human behavior for profit, about perfecting the science of making people do what you want. And when the program was shut down in 1973, the techniques didn't disappear. They were privatized, sold to corporations, turned into advertising, marketing, and behavioral economics. Every manipulation tactic used in modern marketing was pioneered by MKUltra. Every psychological trick used to make you buy things was tested on unwilling subjects. Every method of behavioral control was developed with government funding. This is the story of how a CIA torture program became the foundation of modern consumer capitalism, how mind control became market control, and how the business of manipulating minds created a trillion-dollar industry. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you see every advertisement, every product placement, every free choice you think you're making. The Korean War just ended. American POS are returning home, and they're acting strange. Some are confessing to war crimes they didn't commit. Others are praising communism. A few refuse to return to America, choosing to stay in China. The CIA panics. They think the communists have discovered mind control. They can make people betray their country, change their beliefs, control their thoughts. This terrifies them. Because if the enemy can control minds, democracy is over. Elections can be manipulated. Leaders can be programmed. Entire populations can be turned. CIA Director Alan Dulles authorizes a secret program, MKUltra. The goal: develop mind control techniques to match or exceed communist capabilities. Budget: unlimited. Oversight: none. Ethics: irrelevant. The program is run by Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist with a PhD from Caltech. His background is biochemistry. His mission is to find chemical and psychological methods to control human behavior. Gottlieb identifies several research areas: chemical interrogation, drugs that make people tell the truth; hypnotic programming, implanting commands through hypnosis; sensory deprivation, breaking minds through isolation; behavioral conditioning, training people like animals; psychological torture, destroying personality to rebuild it for each area. He needs test subjects. And here's where it gets dark. He decides American citizens are acceptable test subjects. The justification: national security. We're fighting communism. The stakes are survival. Ethics are a luxury we can't afford. So MKUltra begins experimenting on people who have no idea they're being experimented on. The first major experiment: dosing people with chemical compounds without their knowledge or consent. 1953, 1964. CIA agents spike drinks at parties, bars, and brothels with various substances. They film the results. They document behavioral changes. They're testing drugs on random Americans to see what happens. One of their favorite test subjects, customers at CIA, are run brothels. The agency operates multiple brothels in San Francisco and New York. They hire workers, set up rooms with two-way mirrors, dose clients without consent, watch and record. These men think they're just visiting a brothel. They have no idea they're CIA test subjects. No idea they're being drugged. No idea they're being filmed. Some have severe reactions, psychotic episodes, permanent psychological damage. The CIA doesn't care. No consent, no follow-up care, no compensation. But brothel experiments are small scale. Gottlieb wants bigger programs, more subjects, more ambitious experiments. So he starts funding university research. 1950s, 1960s, MKUltra funds over 80 institutions, universities, hospitals, prisons, research foundations. The researchers don't know they're working for the CIA. The funding comes through front organizations, academic grants, research foundations, all CIA shells, and the research is brutal. At McGill University in Montreal, psychiatrist Donald Ewan Cameron runs psychic driving experiments. His theory: you can erase a person's mind and reprogram it from scratch. His method: drug the patient into a vegetative state, subject them to sensory deprivation for weeks, play recorded messages on loop. You are a good mother. You are a good wife. Apply electroshock therapy to reset the brain. Repeat until the old personality is destroyed. Cameron's subjects are psychiatric patients. Many came in with minor issues like postpartum depression or anxiety. They leave as vegetables, unable to speak, unable to remember their families. Personalities completely destroyed. CIA funding, $70,000 plus for Cameron's experiments. The patients never consented. Many didn't even know they were in experiments. They thought they were receiving treatment. At Lexington Narcotics Hospital in Kentucky, Dr. Harris Isbell runs drug experiments on prisoners, mostly black men, mostly addicts seeking treatment. Isbell's experiments dose prisoners with substances continuously for weeks or months. The longest experiment, 77 consecutive days of dosing, documents psychological effects. Push subjects to the breaking point. The prisoners are told, participate and we'll reduce your sentence or give you extra privileges. It's technically voluntary, but what choice does a prisoner have? These experiments cause permanent psychological damage. Some subjects never recover. Many develop chronic mental health issues. CIA funding, hundreds of thousands of dollars over many years. At universities across America, researchers are studying behavioral conditioning, how to make people do things against their will, how to implant false memories, how to create multiple personalities, all funded by MKUltra money, all conducted without proper ethical oversight, all causing real harm to real people. But here's what's crucial. These aren't just torture experiments. They're market research. Because Gottlieb and the CIA realized something. The techniques that control minds also control markets. If you can make someone confess to crimes they didn't commit, you can make them buy products they don't need. If you can implant false memories, you can create brand loyalty. If you can condition behavior through rewards and punishments, you can create consumer habits. Mind control is market control, and the CIA is developing the science of both. By 1960, MKUltra has spent tens of millions developing techniques that will revolutionize advertising and marketing. And they're about to share those techniques with 1960s MKUltra research is producing results. Not mind control in the science fiction sense, but something more practical. Behavioral manipulation. They've discovered subliminal messaging works. Flash images too quickly for conscious perception, and the brain still processes them. This can influence decisions. Repetition creates belief. Repeat a message enough times and people accept it as true, even if they initially rejected it. Emotional conditioning is powerful. Associate a product with positive emotions, and people will buy it even if they don't need it. Social proof is irresistible. Show people that everyone else is doing something, and they'll conform. Scarcity drives action. Tell people something is limited, and they'll buy immediately to avoid missing out. Authority figures influence behavior. People obey authority even when commands are irrational. These aren't just research findings. These are manipulation tools. And the CIA starts sharing them with corporations. How? Through consultants. MKUltra researchers retire from the program and become consultants to advertising agencies, marketing firms, and corporations. They bring their research with them. The techniques developed for interrogation become techniques for advertising. The methods used to break prisoners become methods to break consumer resistance. The science of torture becomes the science of persuasion. By 1970, former MKUltra researchers and their techniques have infiltrated every major advertising agency in America. And they revolutionized the industry. Before MKUltra, advertising was straightforward. Buy this product because it's good, direct, rational. After MKUltra, advertising becomes psychological warfare, emotional manipulation, behavioral conditioning, subliminal persuasion. Cigarette ads stop saying cigarettes taste good. Instead, they show rugged cowboys, beautiful people, freedom, independence. They're associating smoking with identity. Car ads stop listing features. Instead, they show status, success, sex appeal. They're selling emotional fulfillment, not transportation. Food ads stop describing taste. Instead, they show family, happiness, nostalgia. They're triggering emotional responses. This is MKUltra methodology applied to consumer behavior, and it works incredibly well. By 1980, the advertising industry has grown into a $100 billion industry, all using techniques pioneered by a CIA torture program. But it goes beyond advertising. The behavioral science from MKUltra influences retail design, store layouts designed to manipulate shopping behavior, placing essential items at the back so you walk past everything else, using lighting and music to influence mood and spending, product packaging, colors, shapes, and designs chosen based on psychological research about what triggers purchases. Pricing strategies, using psychological pricing like $9.99 instead of $10, because the brain processes it as significantly cheaper. Customer loyalty programs, behavioral conditioning through rewards. Trained consumers like MKUltra trained subjects. Marketing psychology, entire university programs teaching manipulation techniques derived from MKUltra research. The CIA program ends in 1973, but the business it created is just beginning. And then comes the most important development, the personal computer and internet. 1990s, 2000s, the internet arrives, and suddenly, behavioral manipulation can be automated, scaled, and perfected in ways MKUltra never imagined. Every MKUltra technique can now be deployed digitally. Repetition. Algorithms can show you the same ad hundreds of times across different platforms. Emotional conditioning. AI can analyze your emotional state through your browsing behavior and serve ads when you're most vulnerable. Social proof. Show fake reviews, inflated user numbers, manufactured trends, scarcity, only to left in stock, countdown timers, limited time offers, all artificial authority. Influencers, experts, paid endorsements, presented as genuine recommendation, but it goes deeper. Because now companies have something MKUltra never had: data. Tech companies know everything about you: your browsing history, purchase history, location data, social connections, emotional state, political beliefs, insecurities. They know you better than you know yourself. And they use that knowledge to manipulate you. This is MKUltra on steroids. Powered by AI, deployed at global scale, generating trillions in profits. Let me show you how it works in practice. You browse for shoes online. Every site you visit after that shows shoe ads. This is retargeting. MKUltra called it repetitive conditioning. You watch videos on social media. The algorithm learns what keeps you engaged and shows you more of it. This is behavioral reinforcement. MKUltra tested it on prisoners. You see everyone on social media buying a product. You feel pressure to buy it too. This is manufactured social proof. MKUltra called it conformity pressure. You get a notification. Sale ends in 1 hour. You panic and buy. This is artificial scarcity. MKUltra used time pressure in interrogations. An influencer you trust recommends a product. You buy it without research. This is authority manipulation. MKUltra extensively studied obedience to authority. Every interaction online is designed to manipulate you. Every website, every app, every platform. And the corporations doing this are worth trillions. Google, $2 trillion market cap, built on behavioral manipulation. Meta, $1 trillion, perfecting emotional manipulation. Amazon, $2 trillion. Mastering purchase behavior. Apple, $3 trillion. Creating product obsession. These aren't just tech companies. They're the privatized, commercialized version of MKUltra. They use the same techniques, achieve the same results. But instead of confessions, they extract purchases. Instead of political loyalty, they create brand loyalty. And it's completely legal, because it's called marketing instead of mind control. But the most disturbing part, the original MKUltra documents were mostly destroyed in 1973. Sidney Gottlieb personally ordered them shredded. Why? To hide the crimes. Partly, but also because by 1973, the techniques were already in private hands. The corporations had the knowledge. The research was complete. The program could be shut down because it had already succeeded. It had privatized itself. Think about your last impulse purchase. The thing you bought that you didn't really need, that you weren't planning to buy. Why did you buy it? You probably think, I made a choice. I wanted it. It was a good deal, my decision. But was it, or were you manipulated by techniques developed through torture and testing on unwilling subjects? That lightning deal, countdown timer, creating urgency. MKUltra tested time pressure in interrogations to force decisions. That customers also bought section social proof manipulation pioneered in behavioral conditioning experiments. Those targeted ads following you across the internet. Repetition conditioning tested on prisoners. That influencer recommendation that seemed authentic. Authority manipulation, extensively studied by MKUltra. You think you're making free choices, but you're responding to manipulation techniques perfected through government-funded research on unwilling subjects. The line between mind control and marketing has disappeared, because they're the same thing, just different applications of the same science. And here's what should terrify you. It's getting more sophisticated. Modern neuroscience, combined with AI and big data, allows manipulation that MKUltra researchers could only dream about. Companies now use eye tracking to optimize persuasive elements, facial recognition to gauge emotional responses, neuroimaging to identify what triggers purchases, AI to predict behavior and manipulate it in real time. This is MKUltra's ultimate evolution. Not government agents drugging people in brothels, but algorithms manipulating billions of people simultaneously. With consent, legally, profitably. The business of controlling minds has become the business of capitalism itself. Every corporation studies behavioral psychology. Every marketing department uses manipulation techniques. Every platform optimizes for engagement, which means optimizing for manipulation. And we're all subjects in this experiment. Except, unlike MKUltra victims, we're paying to be manipulated. We're buying the products, using the platforms, generating the profits. MKUltra's annual budget was probably $10 to $20 million. The modern persuasion technology industry is worth trillions. MKUltra had a few hundred test subjects. Modern platforms have billions. MKUltra ran for 20 years before being exposed. Modern digital manipulation has been running for 30 years, and most people won't even recognize it. It's happening. The program succeeded beyond anyone's imagination. Not by creating mind-controlled assassins, but by creating mind-controlled consumers. We're living in MKUltra's world. We just call it the market economy. So here's what MKUltra really teaches us. The business of controlling minds is the foundation of modern capitalism. For 20 years, the CIA spent millions developing techniques to manipulate human behavior. They tortured people, destroyed lives, conducted unethical experiments. Then they privatized the results, shared them with corporations, watched as those techniques built trillion-dollar industries. The mind control program didn't fail. It succeeded perfectly, just not in the way anyone expected. They didn't create programmed assassins. They created programmed consumers. They didn't learn to control enemy spies. They learned to control entire markets. They didn't change how governments operate. They changed how businesses operate. Every manipulation tactic in modern marketing has roots in MKUltra research. Every behavioral economics principle was pioneered through unethical experiments. Every persuasion technique was developed on unwilling subjects. The victims of MKUltra weren't just the direct test subjects. It's all of us, living in an economy designed around manipulating our behavior, making choices that were engineered by techniques developed through torture. And here's the darkest part. It's legal, accepted, celebrated even. We call it marketing innovation, consumer psychology, growth hacking. But it's the same science, same techniques, same manipulation, just applied for profit instead of intelligence. The CIA program was shut down and condemned as unethical. But the corporate version continues, grows, and generates trillions. Because we've decided, manipulating people is wrong when governments do it, but perfectly fine when corporations do it. MKUltra's legacy isn't conspiracy theories about mind-controlled assassins. It's the manipulated behavior of billions of consumers every day. What do you think? Are we all subjects in an ongoing mind control experiment? Is there a difference between manipulation and marketing? Drop your thoughts in comments. Because 70 years ago, the CIA started a program to control minds. They failed at creating super soldiers, but they succeeded at creating super consumers. The program was officially shut down in 1973, but the business it created is more powerful than ever. Every time you see an ad, you're seeing MKUltra's legacy. Every time you make an impulse purchase, you're experiencing techniques developed through torture. Every time you feel manipulated by a platform, you are being manipulated methods pioneered by a CIA program. MKUltra didn't end. It evolved, it privatized, it scaled, and it's more successful now than it ever was as a government program. The business of controlling minds became the business of controlling markets. And we're all paying for it, literally. Welcome to MKUltra's world, where every purchase is programmed, every choice is conditioned, every consumer is a test subject. The experiment never ended. It just went commercial.